Hello, and welcome to Sitter's Baked Goods. Today we're going to be making blueberry jam. It's a very simple recipe, but a very useful recipe. So, let's get into it. We're going to start by putting our lemon juice and sugar in here. Doesn't matter the order. Make sure you have the zest as well, so it's extra good. I know I put a lot of sugar in my jams, but remember, you want to get that beautiful taste first, and if you want to be healthy, just use a little bit less jam. There's no point in get a terrible jam that is healthier and then just using double because it doesn't taste so good and you need more to taste it. It's way better to make a nice tasting jam and just use less. So let's add the sugar. However, this is my tastes, and if your tastes are different and you prefer a little bit less sugar, then that's fine as well. But make sure that you're not taking out sugar just because you think that you want to be healthy. If it's based on taste, go for it. Other than that, I would suggest sticking with the recipe. Just gonna leave this to soak into the berries and let the berries release their juices. And then I'll mix it all together and we'll start cooking it. This is what it's going to look like once that bit of time has been up. Just now need to blend it all together and make it smooth. Get your water on to boil so you can sanitize your jars and your lids. And we'll come back when that's all done. Now that the water's boiling, turn your heat down so that it doesn't boil over here. And we're going to put in our jars. It needs a minimum 30 seconds on each side. I normally flip them at 20 seconds, flip them back, and then flip them again, just to be safe. But for you, if you want to just cut as much time as possible, 30 minimum, to make sure everything dies in them. When you're done all the jars, make sure you do the lids, and make sure all of the seals aren't damaged at all. If they are damaged, your jam will go bad quickly, so just check them before you put them in. But you can quickly just put all the lids in all at once. My jam's already boiling. It's going a bit faster than normal, so I won't turn it up like I normally do. And instead, I'll just turn it down, leave it. Once these are done, I'll turn it back up, put the pectin in, and we're almost done. Once you get this boiling, as I just had it going, and you add in your pectin, make sure you get all of it in there. Mix it up nicely. Whoa, careful. And then make sure that it boils one more time before you take it off the heat. So just mix it until it's fully mixed together. When it boils again, take it off the heat and you're ready to pour into your jars. One last thing before you pour into your jars, make sure you take off these bubbles. Because if you don't take off these bubbles and all of these bubbles get into one jar, what could happen is you could lose 40 mils in one jar. And if that jar is a 250, that's almost a fifth of your jar isn't jam. Like, this still will become jam. So I like to still use this at home, or I can use it for other baked goods, but I wouldn't want to give it to the customer. Not to mention, it also doesn't look pretty, which you need to make sure that you're giving a nice product to your customer. You don't need to get all of it off. Just enough so it doesn't look so bad. Just like that. So I only took off this much, and now we're going to just pour into our jars. Depending on how long it takes you to get this fully done, and from when you finish boiling your jars, it could be too hot to scoop. And what you would do is you just bring it as close as possible and scoop like this. But mine have cooled down enough where I can hold them, and I'll just scoop like this. This way I don't waste so much. Make sure that you fill it to the brim, or very close to the brim, because when it cools down it will shrink a bit, and if you fill it to the amount that you think you want it and it shrinks lower than that, it's not going to look too nice for your customers. They're going to think that you're cheaping out on them. So make sure that you fill it a little bit more than normal. Be extra careful with this. This is like lava and sugar likes to stick to your skin. So if you get any of this on you, you'll get severe burns. So just be very, very careful. And especially if you're holding a jar like this, if you get one right here and you panic and throw it up in the air, that could go all over you and cause severe damage. So just make sure that you're being extra careful when you're pouring. Now you do need to tighten these lids, and it's very hot, so what I like to do is use a bit of warm water while I tighten it so that my hands don't burn. And while you're washing it, you can get rid of any spilt jam if you did spill. So this is what you do. You can just try to do it normally, but it's very dangerous, so just do it this way. And if you see any jam or feel any jam while tightening it, wash it off and let it sit at room temperature. After about 10 minutes, re-tighten them for the small ones and about 20 minutes for the big ones. Because they're hot, when they cool down, the outside lid doesn't fully tighten. So as it cools down, you just tighten it as you go. That doesn't mean the seal is going to be broken or anything. All it means is that this piece isn't fully tightened, which could break the seal. So you want to make sure you tighten it as soon as possible so that you don't break anything. And I'll wait another 10 minutes for these guys. Here's how the jam turned out. It's looking good. I let it set in the fridge for a full day. Make sure that you do that or it won't set properly. Also make sure you're not shaking it around or the pectin will turn back into a liquid and then it's not jam anymore. If you've liked this video, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. I even have my own website. Thank you and have a nice day.